We enter into Wings Up's territory as they will be attempting to equalize at 1-1. An advantage given up to Lynn Vision on the basis of them being in the upper brackets and entering the grand final through those. G starting things off with a single flashbang while Emilia's holding the rest of his utility.
Ooh, and already a little assertive over towards Banana, starting T side. Even though they had the side selection, they could have started CT had they so choose, but last time it didn't go quite to plan. Great opener here from Child King. Zach are already out of the equation, and now Lynn will move in to try and take space away from Banana. But Wings Up have already vacated that area. They already had their setup accomplished their main objective. Get a kill, show some presence. Lynn headed the other way.
Plan has to come into order, though. Good for the one, make it two, maybe, perhaps. Does spot out the second, but a few too many shots missed. Child King as well does the same. Now we'll be forced to move back. Perhaps the boost can be set up around the corner, but don't forget, Child King's so damn low, so if they make any noise, any mistakes, then our basically is gone. Westmelon, stay ducked away, my friend. This is not going to be looking like a good side for you. Child King leading the charge, spots out the first two players. G able to keep it locked and loaded, though. And with the smoke coming back down, he will find himself isolated away from the graveyard position. Westmelon peeks out, good for one. G's able to switch it out as well, and between the two of them, they've cleaned up the entirety of this pistol round.
Such a good timing there from Westmelon as well. Like you said, hid himself away so he wasn't exposed to the boost. Once that smoke and moto faded on this wrap into the A bomb site, Westmelon able to save G. You know, we were looking at G's perspective. He's almost about to get caught out by the creeping play there of the Wings Up re-aggression or the retake. And Westmelon just able to spring into action just in the nick of time. So an important pistol round for Lynn Vision. They only got one round last time they played up against Wings Up on their T side and struggled on CT. You know, we noted for Wings Up, all they needed to do was change the pace every so often, and they were able to break and crack into bomb sites. Lynn want to have a little bit of a better crack in on T, and then they can start thinking about how they adapt their defenses.
Oh. I will never not find that problem.
I do wonder whether that will even be a part of the game, you know? Us making our switch at some point or another to Counter-Strike 2, that might be something that is immediately dealt with. Good Molotov on short. Flying was boosted and already tagged up. This is a 4A setup from Wings Up. And it does mean that this B-bomb site would be somewhat easier to crack into, but rotates are on their way. In fact, a third player even hazarding its glance over, but the util sailing in, a full execute.
Alright, good for one, able to get some decent damage out of the second as well, but it stays his ground for far too long. Inside the smoke, Emilia pre-fires away and Gas's demise is met. Child King recovers the MP9, and that might end up being a save weapon, but he wants to get right inside the smoke and see if he can find anything on the spam. Nothing to collect, though. None of these players are really even low enough for him to be able to just do a quick drive-by, unless you just get really lucky with two headshots, which is a little bit unlikely. Everyone has abandoned. Child King's still not backing off. He's got a Deagle and an MP9. That's two weapons, effectively, to save it at the next round. I would be very surprised if he doesn't try and save it.
Yeah, there's not...
Child King recovers the MP9, and that might end up being a save weapon, but he wants to get right inside the smoke and see if he can find anything on the spam. Nothing to collect, though. None of these players are really even low enough for him to be able to just do a quick drive-by, unless you just get really lucky with two headshots, which is a little bit unlikely. Everyone has abandoned. Child King's still not backing off. He's got a Deagle and an MP9. That's two weapons, effectively, to save it at the next round. I would be very surprised if he doesn't try and save it.
Yeah, there's not really much reason or incentive to hunt either. You know, trying to establish your own money on the Lynn Vision side. If Emilia can farm some extra cash in the SMGs, that would be nice, but they're feeding money over to Child King, and he's got himself 3. If only he had been able to get those kills a little sooner, he might have been able to escape with the AK, but the bomb radius will do him in. No AK saved. Lynn still with another round, and I said they needed to build money. They don't do a whole lot of that in that round.
Somehow Child King's the one who ends up building money over there. 4,200, and going into this one, he can drop the AWP in the next for LAN very comfortably. So, keeps all the utility presence and everything that they need for Inferno as well. I also do just want to add quickly, Child King obviously was a player who we did see come online very slowly across the entirety of the playoffs, especially on Inferno. We didn't see him have that much impact. It always felt like it was more like the second or third map of the series where he starts coming into his own. Yeah. So if he's alive early on, this is going to be a good sign. Westmelon, though, same could be said for him.
Yeah, also someone that has been suffering for, I think, role changes and maybe even shouldering some leadership. It's hard to say. We don't really know who's calling since X-Pro's departure, but Westmelon, the oldest man on the Lynn Vision crew, you'd expect him to have the coolest head on his shoulders.
Careful, flying with a boost up. Good for the one. Will be able to back off to safety. In the meanwhile, Zach is dead to his own man, G. An accident to apologize for, but apologies are going to be saved for later on. For now, you have to just make sure Flying doesn't run away with another frag. Does give the Deagle over to Gas while he maintains the USP. Obviously, that armor is not particularly helpful on 17 HP. Bomb planted. G is quite low. Let's not forget, so that USP can be deadly as well. Flying, good for the one. Gas traded away. Flying, USP is all he's got. Doesn't switch out for the Deagle. Now he does, and Starry spotted out, but can't be taken down. Barely recovering that round. What a performance from Flying on those pistols.
Yeah, this is hardly comfortable if you're Lynn, you know, winning the last couple of rounds with only one survivor, and you really want to be in a spot where you have a built-up cushion on your economy so that if Wings Up do start to respond, especially now with them moving into a rifle buy here in round number 4, they are on the precipice of just having their money reset, and that is so key for Wings Up if they want to answer back nice and quickly. Lan, AWP, you talked about the extra money Child King made, and Lan will not find any successes at the start of this round. 3B over towards Banana, and some good damage onto Zakir after getting spammed.
Child King able to follow through as well, but it's Marek's grenade that actually finishes off Westwell, and I've got to say, Zach has been getting a bit unlucky. Right now getting dinged through the smoke. Previous round, he obviously got shot by his teammate, yeah.
Yeah, not ideal. An AWP-made rifler that's been honestly pretty solid. Not something that I'd really attributed to Zakir in the past, but he's going through some changes, as are the rest of the Lynn Vision squad. That's a awkward angle to be holding from pit with a chicken staring you down.
Is that a one-way chicken? Can you actually see the head of the player?
That would
I'm
be,
not even joking.
That would be
I
mental,
think that's an
yeah.
actual thing.
That would be crazy. Advanced chicken strategies.
Because you can make the chicken your pet by pressing E,
yeah.
obviously.
That would be silly if that's to be discovered. Because it can block flashbangs, and it can block.
Yeah.
I think it can block bullets as well. So.
Molotov finds Child King, was already very low from the earlier exchange. Marek has to put up a show, only good for one, and it's Gas to come through and follow up with what we hope would be 2, but instead, Starry and Zach are allowed to get the bomb down. Both very low, but there's no offensive utility to try and make a difference here. Zakir's Deagle is damn good, though. I have to see if he can actually do anything with it. Ditches the Mac 10. He knows it's all about the rifles, if he can recover them, and indeed he does, but wants to stick to the one-shot headshot.
No head armor. No armor, in fact, on Lan. And they do have a kit on Flying. He has to be the major propellant here. The fact that they're so low HP, he has to be able to find a kill, and Starry unable to connect on his bullets. Lan so far away and detached from the action. Flying has to jump on the bomb, and I wonder whether or not Lan will be able to cover in time. It's too late. Zakir's been able to find the kill through the smoke, Flying deploying it, and cannot get the defuse. Lan will even go up with the bomb. That lack of armor will bite him in the behind. Another round for Lynn Vision.
And this is always the flip side that you have to discuss. That sure, Lynn are finding their economy whittled down very significantly by a few of these rounds, but actually Child King repurchased into a Deagle armor and some utility in the round before this. Because of that, they don't have the full armor on Lan. Lan's not quite as strong. He doesn't have a kit. You know, there's all of these slim margins where maybe you've got an extra grenade to be able to take down 1 or 2 of those players as well. In these close one-on-one situations, sure, Lynn could have had their money reset as well, but now Wings are instead the ones who've been knocked down a peg.
I think the important thing, though, for Wings Up is that because these rounds have been so close, even when committing to these half buys or forced buys is that much more justified. You know, you win one of these, Lynn are immediately down in the dumps, and you'd be able to slingshot rather quickly. You know, the scoreline might be a little bit scary to look at, considering the last time Lynn were completely shut down on their T side. But Wings should be confident enough in their Inferno. They've just not been in as many finals here in the ESL Challenger League. They've not had as many chances at it. Sure, they made it to Melbourne, but after that one upset, it was hard to really see them take that next step, that next journey forward. Sure, they made it to playoffs, but It's very difficult when that's your one opportunity in how many moons.
We saw some fun things yesterday from IHC where Blitz was just being dropped 3 nades in a position or two, and then he would just try and use that to offset the smokes as much as he could from the T side.
Mm-hmm. Well, the fact that they have double SMGs, someone should be a forward presence, some kind of a scout. Westmelon will cheat ahead of the smoke and will immediately find an SMG atop first oranges. This should call it quits on the B play because of the fact that timely smoke was deployed by Wings Up, but they need to take room on brackets quick.
It is the only one with flashes. They want to try to take this peak. Dry, that's flying, getting the frag. Lan as well follows up. The Deagle Scout combination, so hard to get past. Flying now with the Mac 10 pulled out. Zaka, the only one who's able to get a frag, and Lynn Vision are falling apart. That half by reset. It's coming in, and Zaka is about to face it down. Wings Up, find the first round, and this will be the nut cracked open there and then.
Yeah, a key round, one of very much importance because, yeah, now Lynn just don't have anything to buy into it. It will be only on 1 round loss bonus, and falling into this trap and falling victim to what is ultimately a stack on that B play, but they only spot 1. So that's one of those situations where, because they play with so much hesitation, Wings Up are able to hold on to these smokes for so much longer, and by the time there's actual presence from Lynn on one of these bomb sites, they actually just can't go through that smoke. It's almost suicide. Ended up to be the right call as well. Wings Up playing contained, playing safe. And there are many a team that we've seen in the past. You know, IHC were certainly one of note. I think we've seen it before from Rare Atom as well, where they'll, on these half buys, buy into like a Mag 7 or a shotgun of some kind and try and play close, aggressive angles because it's so difficult to clear out all these nooks and crannies on Inferno. But Wings Up wanted to play inside of the bomb site, which is commendable. But kind of hard to sometimes when you're working off of very limited information to make it work, but well, let's hope they can keep the good times rolling. We've had some good maps of Inferno from Wings Up so far in these playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
And it would be a disappointment if they came in and that was, you know, a map that they lost.
This is obviously also the big map for Lynn to target as well, right? Lynn had the yesterday off. They didn't have to play the Challenger League. They knew that, hey, all of yesterday is going to be dedicated to either prepping for INC or for Wings Up. And if there's one map you need to prep for, it is Inferno.
Yeah, it's probably what leans them into a T-side pick as well. But let's not also forget that Lynn had struggles on their CT side, so
yes,
there are lessons to be taken away for both teams, respectively. That same change of pace and just going for bursting plays from Wings Up isn't likely to succeed again.
In all fairness, I did also go back and check. They did only get 1 T round last time they played against them. Out of 7 played in the half, obviously. That's, you know, a lot less. But
they're at a
4
10-5
already,
deficit, so...
Yes, that is also true. Point is, Lynn looked kind of bad generally on Inferno, so let's wait and see exactly what the CT side also will have in store for us. But before we can get there, obviously we have to get through this rough patch they're about to face. The economy is not going to be looking good for them.
Might be a shame that we don't have Lan on an AWP, but against pistols, probably better advised. Finally, away from the technical issues, all the Lynn Vision players are back in the server. And map number 1 will continue. Inferno. Lynn off to a very good start, but now getting their economy upset. Wings Up have to be able to clutch this one with 2 hands. Let it be stolen away from them again. They cannot afford to lose even, you know, 2 of these rifles. They've come in with a few SMGs themselves, and that should help alleviate some of the strain, some of the pressure. Deep B play with a crossfire set up between those two SMGs, so B is not safe if you're Lynn.
Not even close to it. At the same time, Tech-9's and Deagles means you want to get that close range duel going. Westmelon only one able to find anything. Child King with a triple turns it around, and he's got money for days. He's up at that 5.1k mark, so you've already done a very, very good job. And also, getting that many kills with the SMGs does open things up to, hey, even if we lose maybe one rifle here, yeah, we're still relatively in the green.
Yeah, it's not quite so bad.
Not to mention, Lynn will have $1,900 loss bonus going to the next one as well, so you are going to have a successive eco more likely than not.
Well handled by Lan. And all the rifles will stay afloat, so that condition we are setting ourselves won't even come to fruition.
No op picked up. Interesting. I know that it's obviously against pistols, and they realize that as well. But also at the same time, that's where you could maybe choose, hey, get an MP9 to be able to switch that out into an AWP or something like it. This is looking just like rifle priority generally from that, from Wings.
Yeah, and a noticeable lack of investment here from Lynn Vision, just going for a series of nades. They'll tank some themselves, and Child King just in their face and sweeping up every single one of these frags. Pepper them up with a nade, and will convert on 4 kills. A lightning quick round from Wings Up. They just wanted to get it over with and see if they could get a gimmicky kill, if even that. No problems with this one. And I want to see this Wings Up assertiveness over at Banana as well. You know, we noted it in our last game that they were able to, on both sides of the map, be able to dominate that area, and Lynn couldn't do much to stop it, you know, frequently losing the opening duel. That's where we started to see Child King reactivate, because he had a very slow T side half, but you see just how proficient he is on the CT side. Already leading the way for this Wings Up squad, and this time they will move away from him, over towards the brackets they'll go, and that will mean this is the weakened site under pressure.
Nade follow-up is able to at least soften down Westmelon and Zaka right down to that one-shot territory. Good nade follow-up. That is going to be leaving Zaka being incredibly unhappy. Flying also has been fantastic from Pit and Apartments, both sides of the coin. Land good for the one, but Flying's been caught out. They knew he wants to stray forward with the Molotov there as well. Land now all alone. Cold Zera box is where his grave will be. Child King and Marek have rotated over and dropped the bomb in the meanwhile, but Marek's demise will be met. Zaka has got the second as well. The one-way smoke working wonders.
Yeah, a wonderful stuff, and a mistake there from Marek. You know, if not for that, then being able to play that 2v2, it's actually a very hard fight for Lynn to play out from both the site as well as the balcony. Had Child King just been able to stay alive and Marek be able to link up with him in some capacity, then that retake is certainly on, but being able to isolate Marek just meant that they could focus on Child King that much more. It was a very fast flank, very fast reaction from Wings Up. They recognized that Lynn wanted to proceed quickly through the brackets and through that A bomb site. Had there been hesitation, Lynn would have had the numbers advantage, and it would probably have been a Wings Up save. AWP now pulled out by Lan. That's for it in rounds prior, but now that they know that they're against rifles as a certainty, Lan will feel comfortable enough to invest in this weapon, but not go for anything too aggressive. Again, brackets will be taken here by Lynn. This time with less presence, less noise made.
Land missed shot, the flashbang timing can't be quite caught. Lando misses his grenade as well. That's not going to be doing him any favors. Could have really slowed down any push to come over. In the meanwhile, there's a Molotov, there's a wall bang. Westmelon and Amelia have done it all on their own. G even able to come through and back up for the back of the bomb site. Nice setup there to try and deal with that cold box position. Land's just been prioritizing that so consistently. It really looks like Lynn have just come through with some fantastic anti-shredding with both Flying and Land.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, you could see there from Lan. He wanted to play defensive, but because he was doing that, he was almost funneled into the exact thought that Lynn were having themselves about how he would transition and how he would move inside of the bomb site. Also, a little unsure, you know, this is a small caveat we might add, is that that is a spot where the AWP, if you have it, jumping cold zero box, when you look into the wall, sometimes you can see the gun through the wall. They came in with a lot of conviction, the fact that he was going to be there, but also just converting upon that Molotov being thrown is very well handled. This time not a single trade being found by any of the wings up defenders.
Yeah. All of that success and economy softening that was coming through in the half-wise isn't really being translated the same way here on the gun rounds. Wings up have to be careful that they don't end up suffering a little bit too much in these gun-on-gun situations now. They're already at a respectable place. 6 round on the T side is pretty damn good, but looking to try and take it over to 7, maybe even 8.
It's all about damage control for wings up. They know that their T side has been worked on as the playoffs have continued. So should be confident in being able to get rounds to that side of the map, but they don't want to be staring down the barrel of a certain similar circumstance as Lynn Vision, not taking many risks when they get into that T side because they know that a simple mistake could result in you losing your window, your chance to come back into the game.
Banana control completely given up, and now they will look to retake it with the flashbang, but by this time they've already started rotating back over. Zacher left to try and make sure there's no one actually taking a peek back right down from the car position, but instead they're fine with just smoking it off. And the rotation still haven't begun. There's still some presence here, but Lan will find himself smoked off, and rotation back to the bomb site to start coming through. This is another A commit that's being lined up. Gas this time playing in from Graveyard. Will they be anticipating him?
Flying having the high ground as well, and the fact that the apartments is smoked off, it means that they cannot link up with the short player. Gas even exposing himself, Molotov driving him out into the open duel and flying unaccounted for, getting a double and expecting another one inside of the apartments. A 2-on-4, that's now just a 1-on-4 for Starry, and he's found a secondary kill. Knows one's inside of the site, and so for now, it's Lan against the world. But Marek just here on the rotate will suffer the same fate as everyone else on the defense. Another headshot, but Starry cannot finish it off. Time was low. Lan able to bail them out of a dire situation.
I mean, it looked like Flying was the one who did it all right. The adjustment back from pit to being able to play from the balcony just caught them off guard. They weren't ready to have to deal with the Graveyard balcony crossfire. Land obviously helping out of the middle, but man, Starry, what a recovery even on the aim to find Marek at the end. He wasn't even looking for the crossover, and that flashbang in the middle of the ice, it was beautiful.
Yeah, risk-taking as well there from Lan, taking a peek and exposing himself when he could have tried to play his life, play time, but knew he had to try and get the drop on him. Not comfortable, but it's a win nonetheless. Westbound taking a lot of damage by nades, and will opt for the Galil instead, give his teammates a better chance at it, but it doesn't help anybody in their duels. Child King is a beast on Banana. Why they haven't been contesting him early in rounds as of late. They're reminded once again.
This is the guy who starts off quiet.
Yeah.
Wow. 14-8 right now.
Like you were mentioning, if the finals is where he's able to buck that trend, then Wings Up are onto some winning ways. They found the secret sauce.
Just got to make sure you don't lose your meat and potatoes in the middle of it. Because Lan and Gas have yet to have too many pop-off moments. Lan, obviously, a round or two here or there, but Gas has largely been on the quiet side of things. Even so, Wings Up. This will be a round where the economy for Lynn will be reset, and they will be flailing to try and recover it. Even if I'm not wrong, they shouldn't have a bye even going into the 6-6 round. But I'm not gonna pretend like I know exactly what the loss bonus is.
Yeah, they should be okay. Star saving here isn't the worst thing in the world. It'll be like if they committed to a half buy, but someone deep dives into an AK. Story might be left wanting in that 6-6. But they should be able to squeeze it together by. It should be no problem. So they shouldn't invest here. But Zacker's full board. Okay, maybe I have. Maybe I have a misunderstanding of where the lost bonus currently sits. Or maybe
it's
they
on
just...
24 for the next one. They
Yeah.
would have had no Molotovs or no flashes
Yeah.
if you're going full AKs. Yeah.
Bare bones.
No early contest, despite having 3 Tech 9s amongst them. They do not want to reveal the state of their economy at the time being. Vision could have easily bought into Galil's and lower utility as well, so Wings Up with the numerous possibilities have to be very aware that there could be some funny business coming their way.
Yeah, just to play safe enough positions where they don't get caught by one of these surprise buys, but also still maintain control enough that they're not putting themselves in sort of dire circumstances when it comes to the actual site hit. Chalking has missed the timing on these jump peaks, and that's really dangerous. A dink immediately, but Chalking does not falter. First kill there, but an AK now recoverable now for this Lynn Vision squad, and they can deploy Smoke CT, get that bomb planted if they move in quick. Wings Up are here, but they're trapped behind the smoke.
The move and quick part might have been missed out though. Flashbang to set up for Gas to peek, but he's still going down. Zaka to find the frag. Gas is down and out. Marek, the only CT anywhere in the vicinity, and that's an AK given up as well. Now they want to try and dry duel this one soon. Moving away, Marek trying to go for the spam, but he's caught out as well. Down to 14, still maintains his life. Starry, now the side of things, Flashbang is good, flying is straight at Zaka. They shot him down and Lana is out of there. Child King, that jump spot continually just missing out on window after window, and he doesn't realize until it's too late that a player had crept up onto him.
Yeah, he started to hear the steps and he panic deployed that Molotov, and although he got the first, they did not want to let him escape, so they ran through it. They didn't care. What a round to steal away, and you could tell from the way that Wings Up were approaching that, they understood that this was a round that they shouldn't be losing based on the investment. They didn't want to have it fall out of their favor, and they ended up just bleeding themselves out. You know, they were hemorrhaging more and more players because they were taking separate fights. They were taking risks, jumping through smoke with the flash. And ultimately, it comes back to bite them. Lynn already up to 7 now. Considering the last showing between these two on Inferno, a completely different story. Would have had these chances snatched away from them too many times. Back-to-back winners in previous seasons. But that was when we still had the conference stage. We've done away with that now. There's no chance for a crazy turn of events where instead IHC are able to deal with them. Who they usually have to fight in finals. Wings Up were able to dispatch of them.
King sitting ready to pop out a nade or two. Open that. He's going to be caught out right here and now. Westmelon got the mitt on, and the problem's gone. A minute and 19. The rotation for CTs will have to start coming in, but they're going to be second guessing themselves as well. Maybe not with that much utility roaring through. Marek, Molotov is late, and it will be able to catch him and force him out right as they're moving onto the bomb site. That position reveal makes it so much more difficult for him to actually get out of there. The delayed Molotov works out perfectly.
Yeah, that smoke was going to fade on the bomb side as well soon enough. So as much as he was trying to buy time, he needed help. And the Wings Up players weren't moving. You know, they're already considering a save. Only one that even hazarded the glance is Lan. And Amelia's already cutting off save positions. A little slow to react, which is a little uncharacteristic from Amelia. But we'll look at the radar, perhaps. Well, still, one rifle will be departed with. And it is important that they hold on to these if they want to even contest in the future round or even think about saving these guns again.
Oh, they know there should be a second player around here. Gas. Door not open. Oh, be careful. Zacher finds him and shuts him down. Wings Up. We're really hoping to have that to be able to fight into the next round, but now it feels like 9 is a concession they will be forced to make.
Just about as caught off as a teenager who hasn't locked his door. They swung that open without even knocking, and that is rude. Only one gun, one AWP, and don't know that Lan's going to be able to do too much with it. Very, very hard position to be put in. Even pushing this AWP into other hands will be quite difficult. No one investing anything to help support, to facilitate.
I must have heard that. I think Amelia knows that the gas is nearby.
Is the gas gonna start burning in a sec? Oh my god,
We're
it's
about
perfect.
to find out. Oh no. Amelia, that's perfectly played out. They're not going to know at all. They won't check this at all.
Oh.
Knife time, baby! Gas is only good for the one, though. Can't go for the quick sneaky beaky double shank. Gets some money out, though, and that will be very important, actually. Going into the next round, they did not have much loss bonus, so that'll mean a little bit more utility going out into it.
That's actually super cool. That's a rehearsed lineup that somehow doesn't spread to that corner. That is a very, very cool setup. Uh-oh, that's not cool. This is not fine. They know that Child King must be nearby to try and hold onto that AWP, and he'll even fire the shot, so they know that this is an important weapon to chase down, and they'll do so with numbers. Child King, there is no escape, and these last 2 kills for him have been empty calories. He might have been able to find them, but it hasn't resulted in round wins. A man that has been indisposable and so hard to get past on that B bomb site hasn't been able to do too much from it, but there was that early setup from Wings Up. One of the better kills they got, extra money in the back pocket, and that's important for the last round at the half. Lynn just shy of double digits.
There is not a single incendiary on this CT side. That's what they were really hoping to get with the knife kill, but being forced to reinvest in the AWP, having 3 pieces of head armor as well with it. Inferno's a map where you can excuse that maybe a little bit more so, but God, no grenades, no Molotovs, and, well, I mean, I guess Lan does have grenades, just not the way he'd like them. They're cooked up. And they are delivered.
Yeah, pin pulled already. He was hoping that they'd be maybe gifted to him instead. And these are both teams that beat IHC earlier in the playoffs. A team with a lot of attention drawn to them, but there are new kids on the block. They have been on the cusp. They've been on the precipice so many times over, only to be denied by Rare Atom or IHC alike. Sometimes even Tai Lu plays spoiler. And not often the team that keeps form for very long, as it dips and dives. But Lynn coming in with a different look here on Inferno. Wings Up mapped pick, and they need to recover as much as they can moving into that second half. Lan alone on this B bomb site, and Lynn are heavily clustered to hit his bomb site.
Full mole execute. Lan not going to be caught out, but no, just a stray bullet. Obviously, the grenade from earlier on just weakened him so much, and Child King unable to find anything through the smoke. Amelia swaps out for the Asimov, and despite spotting out the shadow, Marek is able to get the better of Starry. That gives them an in into the round. Remember, they don't have a kit amongst a lot of them, so this won't be easy to make their way back over. A single flashbang, a few smokes, and 3 players walking up banana. But in the meanwhile, the cluster in Coffin will be so hard to deal with. The smoke down will at least isolate Amelia, who's got the AWP. So crossing over into him is going to be nightmarish. They need to go for a vertical peek as well. But Amelia, he realizes that and misses his chance, misses the window. G is gone. Zachar as well. The retake is there, but is there time? Looks like there should be.
Yeah, a full 10-second defuse, but it is close, but not quite close enough to close out with a double-digit scoreline, 6-9 at the half. We'll see whether Wings Up can recover in the second.
catastrophe. My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe.
A fantastic first half coming out from Lynn Vision, finding them 9 where they could have even looked for double digits. A stark contrast to what we saw from them the first time they went up against Wings Up. But now does the Wings side have what it takes on the terrorist side to bring it all the way back?
Yeah, shoes on the other foot now. Some pressure added to this Wings Up offense, and whether or not they can recover quickly. Pistol round will be very important to bridge that gap nice and fast.
For now, they are going into a 3-man setup. The smoke won't be doing all too much either with a double pit plus graveyard setup that's coming through. Starry position revealed. G spots out the shadow, but won't be able to find the frag. Starry now called to order. Between him and Zaka, they've at least put up a show, but now it's all about the B-side players who rotated over. The bomb is on the ground. They've got a few flashes to work off of as well, and the kid is on the bomb side, so everything they possibly need, regardless of the situation. But Amelia has lost his head. You're going to be needing that as well, Amelia. Westmelon, a moment or two that he has been able to deliver in, but now such a tall order, such a tall task, and Child King is just not going to let him get away with it. 21 and 11 now on the man. He's been having a fantastic game.
Yeah, and found the 2 key kills they needed at the end of the half as well when it came to the retake. Now as well, in all this chaos, all the turmoil, this bomb dropped behind the smoke, very exposed to Moto, and these Lynn Vision players could keep watchful eyes on it, able to get the key kills at the end. A pistol round that's much needed for Wings Up to bridge that gap nice and quickly, make sure that Lynn aren't too comfortable with the fact that they've been able to accomplish more on this T side than they did last time they went up against this squad. We can maybe knock them down a peg.
Oh, sorry, Westmelon. Amelia's got a single flashbang. What are they setting up for with that? Are they setting up for anything? Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, he's going to probably deploy it over on B as he rotates. Ooh.
Well, that's a nice one.
And they are almost certainly committing to the B-bomb site now.
After that kill, for sure. Don't want to be going up against that at all. Now, they do have 2 flashbangs in a MAC-10. Should the CTs want to just run through and do some damage, this would be prime time. And need I remind you, Child King doesn't have head armor, so this could very well be a bit of a catastrophe as far as the economy is concerned. Child King is taking the charge. The flashbang dodged out. Good for the one, but Zacher on the USP able to find it. Marek brought down low, and that AK can be recovered, but you know what? At least they reminded him, get head on.
They didn't find it. They didn't find it in time. Yeah, I think
That's big.
a little slow to realize. And yeah, one of the rifles, one of the heavy investments that they came into that round with will not be saved over. Landon, you can carry a gun into this next round. Just a USP. There has to be a gun on the ground. Lands Deagle only. I hate everything about this. This is an important round. This could allow Lynn right back into the game. Money's not great for Wings Up to continue reinvesting unless they get a bomb plant down.
You're not getting a timing on that jump spot.
This is a full commitment from Lynn Vision. The only compromise that they'll have is that Amelia's on an SMG. Sure, FAMAS is not ideal either, but considering they're working off of less rifles on the Wings Up side, this is important. Starry, 1 kill. Zacher, the smokes that are down, unable to get anything for his efforts. G's at least here on the rotate, and they have Amelia nestled inside of the bomb site as well. They won't expect two.
Westmelon's position is also excellent to be able to find out land. This is not looking like a good sign for Wings Up. They've lost out everyone save for Marek. Left from 12 HP, an M4 to work off of, but there shouldn't be much that he can actually accomplish with it. All 3 of these players can just one-shot him down, but they do not want to contest. They want to force him out into the open. Emilia's been left on the spot because he does have the MP9. Naturally, that should be the position for him. Need to remind you, Wings Up's money is not going to be too good even at the next one. Smoke down to try and block it out. Marek, a flash forward, 30 seconds on the clock. Good for another frag. Is able to duck out of there, but now the grenade of Westmelon could be what actually takes him down if he can just line it up in time. And speaking of time, it is ticking down low. Marek will eventually have to make a move. He's realizing it. Does spot out Westmelon as well. And finally, the fall. Slightly expensive for the CT side, but they're more than happy to have come back after really not buying an AWP, not buying full rifles into it, taking 2 AKs forward as well. That's decent.
Yeah, no, that's about as much as you could ask for, really. And Wings Up cannot make this commitment to reinvest. In fact, because they're on only the 1-round loss bonus, they're going to dive right into this force buy. Had residual funds on a few players, and they'll try and operate the 1 rifle of Child King, who has been a stable hand for them in this map so far. But gotta look back at that decision to not commit everything you had into that last round from Wings Up. And just question whether or not it might have gone a different way. They might have called a different strat had they had more weapons to sort of operate around alongside the utility. These are all factors that in-game leaders will have to consider when they call a strat. Ultimately, the wrong one. Flash from Wings Up over towards top B, but they actually blinded themselves. Won't be punished. Lynn are playing defensive. A 3-2 split where this B bomb site has less presence. And they've still got enough in the tank on this Wings Up squad to commit to a full execute, but they have to commit off of this.
Great timing on the boost. Amelia's going to be able to move back, and they've heard him, but the flashbang is fantastic. Westmelon forced down Amelia. Good for 1. His MP9's always been strong. Westmelon, though, has to be the one to put up a turret-like defense. A turret that has since crumbled and fallen. No offensive utility. They cannot stop the bomb from being planted. A 3-on-3 with 2 AKs. This is risky business for the CTs. Zacher's been left on flashbang duty, and he needs to start throwing them in soon.
The banana as well will cut off one of these angles for the post plant, so only 2 players to deal with inside of the site.
G wants to start moving forward. First flash is there now, but these 2 players are not going to be affected by it at all. The backside angles cannot be flushed. There's no incendiaries, no nades, and no time. Pretty soon, Marek reveals his position. G to try and swing forward. Gas is not going to be the one to take point and take charge, as the Tech 9 will be going outwards. They've already lost the round. Question is, how many men will they be losing as well? The T side should be forfeiting Marek's life, but they're more than happy to have collected over here.
Yeah, only 1 survivor for either team, but one that Wings Up will be satisfied with as well. Lynn had many rounds like it on their T side. Very few survivors in their efforts to build up that 9-round buffer that they came into the second half with. And Wings Up will have one that falls their way as well. That was awkward. That shouldn't have really been a Wings Up round. They boost up. They're both playing, hoping that they're gonna be that first port of contact on that B bomb site, but they both get hit by a very solid flashbang. One that suddenly changes the way that they consider their internal timings about what angles they need to consider. And while they did actually keep Wings Up at the mouth of B, they were able to just scale up and group themselves up so that they could deal with both these players at the back of the site. Also, immediately getting tagged by the Molotov certainly didn't help. You know, some early information that was relayed over on the T side attack. Like you said, the timing on the boost was great, but all the extra context for Wings Up on the hit was very critical for them to get those entries.
Oh!
And speaking of entries, Zacher tried for one himself. The only AK that was saved over. Westmelon's quick to retreat with it.
Sorry, Zacher. Life isn't always fair when Child King's on the other side of it and having a banging game. That's a leg spotted out. Okay. Not quite the same telegraphed, picture-perfect, pixel point play that led us into a knife round in the previous half, but hey, they tried.
Yeah, and not exactly the easiest place to get away with a boost. You know, if there's a smoke down, you can, of course, but the shadows will give you away if there is none. Didn't hear a drop.
Yeah, Child King's not coming back for it.
Yeah, didn't hear them break down that boost, so didn't want to try it again.
I don't think you heard that anyway, because generally you like move back onto the boosting spot first. So, not sure about that though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to jump up flower, then you don't make a step either.
Yeah.
But either way, his teammates had taken over that A bomb site, got that bomb down, and Chalking knows to keep himself alive. Important for confidence, but also just make sure that Lynn cannot escape with another weapon.
And they're going to be looking to make sure of even over here now. Smoke down, they will be pushing through it. No problems whatsoever. Marek's just chucked away his gun. He's ready. Give my body to the gods of the next world. Because my place is not in this one. Well, Westmelon's making sure that gas isn't really going to belong to this realm either. Got to be careful that you don't lose too many players. Obviously, taking away this AK would be nice, but also at the same time, we've seen too many situations where economy resets have already taken place in this game.
Yeah, as soon as they lose those two, Flying doesn't even consider going for it anymore. He just hovers, holds his spot, and lets them escape with that AK. They knew Lynn were going to come in with a full buy regardless coming into this next round, so it doesn't change the way they think about their approach on this attack. But they have tied things up. Double digits now for both of them, but this is Wings Up's selection in the series, already trailing by one as a result of coming through that lower bracket. So if they can set the precedent now, they will be on equal footing. We'll be back into a vacuum best of three, one in which that does include 2 Lynn Vision picks, but it's the first step on the journey.
They're very committed to this banana hit to come through. Flying, obviously, good old lurking shenanigans that he does like to get up to. That will be ensuing. First rotation back from the A-bomb side is planned. Zacher doesn't fully commit, and that might have been a mistake. Smoke, though, been blocked off. There's a small gap on the right side for the CTs. Westmelon, good for 2. And Amelia knows he just has to keep himself alive. CT, that's a big gap. Never mind.
Yeah, not sure who was in charge of throwing that smoke, but it's not one that they would have drawn up in practice. Them having this man advantage and Flying so separated, such a crazy lurk to go for, but might be so late that it catches Lynn off. But they have to be able to hold their ground, land 1 kill, Gas gets nothing, and now suddenly this position from Flying feels like it is too far compromised. They don't know, but I think a step just heard from Starry as he rounded the corner, so Flying accounted for. This will be an 11th, a successful retake, and a Wings Up post plant that they'll want to forget.
That smoke would have been fine. It actually just hit the shoe of one of the players moving forward. So they just messed up their pathing a little bit as a result of that.
It looked a bit confusing as well because the timing of that smoke was so late. You know, Chalking was already entering and entering into that B bomb site. But because he's so far ahead of that smoke, he actually has to consider CT. He has to look at it while he's moving into the site, which is not comfortable. You know, flicking 180 degrees to 180 degrees into the first oranges.
I mean, that only ever works if you've got a Molotov out on the second orange just to be able to flush out both as well as new books, and then you want to just try and take the peek into CT before the smoke and bloom. But obviously, that's not quite the setup that they were running there.
Yeah, and maybe just expecting that because Lynn, you know, typically play a very defensive CT side, that if there was somebody CT, after that smoke, he starts to hear it bounce off the walls, that he might try and deploy a Molotov or a flash or an HE to try and slow them down on the actual hit. You know, there's a meta game that can be established there, but it just looked awkward based on the positions there from Lynn Vision, not something that they could actually capitalize on. There's merit, but ill-placed in that round, and whoa, what is this? Starry down towards second middle, but they won't succeed. Land finding two, but Starry able to respond with two of his own, and Westmelon sweeps up the pieces. It's a hyper aggro, but Marek, oh my god, he can't punish.
No.
He gets two chances at it, but Westmelon dodging bullets left and right.
That's a guy who's not about to be given the op anytime soon. I can tell you that much.
I think he was actually second doping, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah, early in the playoffs.
But he's not getting it anymore.
Yeah.
Peek forward, Zaka so confident in the anchor position as well. This is one of the things about Zaka you always commended, even when he was opping. Never afraid to take a strange peek, and that translates through sometimes even better with the rifle. Marek is really trying to kind of into it. Doesn't prioritize the money, and maybe he should have. 12 to 10, 3 players kept alive. And I've got to say, Lynn Vision, they've come into this looking like they're here to play a finals while Wings is here to play a game. This peek from Starry fully swings out. He's got a second man behind him as well. Westmelon is there to just throw so much chaos into them. This is Lynn Vision feeling like they're the big game team right now.
Yeah, and they actually had you know, Wings Up, weirdly enough, had good positions to actually deal with that. You know, very defensive deep into second middle. You know, after they realized that smoke was deployed, had to have considered it. Starry's going again into pistols. This time, not able to put up as much of a fight, not quite as assertive. Didn't throw his body straight down second middle, but you can see Starry's in a flow state.
Oh, Starry does end up being caught out and brought down, but he's more than happy with the information that he's picked up. Only has to be sure that Zaka, oh my god! He's just gone and popped out the first one. G's the one to finish off the second, but Zaka's not done yet. Make sure that Fly can't even drop down into the headshot angle with the AK. 4 players kept alive and taken forward. They are so happy with how this is going. Wings Up are not going to have the AWP for land. Forget that. They're not going to have much utility to work off of for the rest of their team either.
Yeah, given this is quite a close game, given the scoreline, you know, to see Lynn operate with so much confidence on these swings, you know, Starry just bouncing between angles and Zaka taking that risk as well as they tried to go out of the apartments. You can tell that even in spite of the score being close, they feel like they should win this map.
Oh my god, Chalking just gets that one fully blinded out. Wings Up, if there's one thing that's going to give him a chance in, this has to be it. Emilia reveals his position. As he backs off, Westmelon is able to guarantee the retreat and even dodges out most of the flames. What is this? An action moving going on here. Michael Bay would be proud as Zaka will be henchman number 3 to fall.
3 rounds in a row. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. 3 times? Taking a deep peek into second middle. Wings Up were certainly ready this time over. Up through middle. Starry hears the step, but he can't do anything to stop them. Not until Child King. Bomb making its way in, but Westmelon unaccounted for, and Gas trying to perform on the wrap, but the flash is perfect. Starry on the supportive play, able to then come in and sweep up the rest. Between them, they get all 5. Lynn now up to 14.
God, second name Jeremy, first name Lynn. There's Linsanity going on. If I might have messed that one up in the ignore that one. Completely Linsanity coming out of the head. Starting the flashbang to just come forward. Westmelon buying time around the super box. Plays it perfectly as well. These anchor performances coming through from Lynn Vision have been looking so damn good. You leave any one of them alone on the bomb site, they're doing so well. And thinking, yeah, it's individual, right? But now the flashbang communication, the utility, Lynn are looking like the best team in the business. 100% Wings Up are going to be sweating.
What is going on? Why do they feel like they can take this fight continuously? They've yet to be punished for it, but it almost came back to bite them when Zaka did it the round just prior. Ay, ay, ay. No Molotovs, so Lynn are brazen with it. Almost impossible to flush his position out with these pistols without a Molotov, so Zacher will have a field day. First kill there, and what do? How do you hunt him down? Because you're across the site. It's not exactly the easiest. Westmelon took a risk, took a gamble through that smoke, and Amelia spotted, but that bomb drop second middle. Good kill counter there from Child King, and this is still certainly on. They're both low, and Child King's brought it to a one-on-one, where there are once 3 players that stood in his way. Now suddenly Starry is all that's left, but does he know? Is there info on where Starry even is?
Starry's hard committed to go back towards the B bomb side. Child King, this is all the guessing game here and now. And all of that bravado, all of that wide swing style that they were trying to bring into this one, it might all come back to bite them. Starry now accelerating. Child King. They'll be able to get the silent drop off as well. So Starry, back to B he goes. Child King, 15 seconds. He's got no choice but to commit to the A-bomb side, and Starry knows it as well. But Starry's worried about it. Wrapped through arches. And in the meanwhile, the bomb can be planted. Child King. Both of them maybe not ships passing in the night, but definitely a lover's letter that has been missed out on either side. Now the one-on-one ensues, and Child King's got the angular advantage. Starry. Position will be given up. Child King must have heard that one. 100% he has positioned into the off-angle. Starry to take the peek forward. Child King with the quad will be able to give them a longer lease on life. Wings up to 11. Lynn Vision denied at the end.
And practically a 1-on-4 there for Child King. This round was in absolute turmoil. Wings Up were stopped at the gates, and some overconfidence, some overstepping. You know, you see the way that Child King's approaching that round. That's because he knew for a fact Emilia spotted that bomb, and there had to be some kind of a reaction from the remaining Lynn Vision players. Child King continuing to impress on this map and bailing them out, stopping Lynn from getting up to a 15th round, and puts them on the precipice of losing out on their funds as well. Wings Up are still in it as a result of that clutch. They don't have to think about OT. They might still be able to sweep this one away in regulation, but this round is critical. It's so important for both squads. The safety net for Lynn Vision, but also the peace of mind for Wings Up.
Seems like for once the call from Lynn is going to be incorrect. Unless they are quick to rectify that. Emilia. Not been having the strongest of games thus far. This would be a time to shine, and, well, will at least redeploy the smoke in a timely manner. No flashes. Needs to push through the smoke. Will not find much. Only good for one. Make it 2. Still alive with the USB. Can't really be expected to get any kills there, but Westmelon has now rotated over. He's got an incendiary as well flying. Again, this late lurk means that this is going to be effectively a 3-on-2 on the bomb site at best. Kits aplenty. Flashes as well. Flying's trying to regroup. Back to Banana he goes, but will Lynn be pulling the trigger before he can get there? No. At the very least, they've got full force, and one of their players with full HP. The smoke will drop him and block him, but he's fine with moving past it. Lan. Low, 16 HP is all he's got. G's fan flying. G's looking out again. The Molotov is burning, and Child King can't find it. There's a kill on Zacher as well. And 15 is found for Lynn Vision.
Oh my goodness. And they needed to rely on Child King to clutch back again. He needs to get every single kill in this round. What more could you ask from this man? It's still not enough. And Flying didn't want to make that same mistake again. He just is unable to rectify it, this time on a post plant on B. What an effort from Amelia. What a risk to take. Dying there for free would have certainly been a Lynn Vision save. But he got the man advantage for them, and that was more than enough. 30 kills for Child King in what could be a loss on their map pick. And they don't come in with optimal utility, an optimal buy. All to stave off being down 2-0 in the series.
fully blinded out as well. Child King, it's not even like you could have tried to sell that for too long.
That's 2 of the flashes missed. 2 of the flashes misutilized on Wings Up, and they already came in very light. They didn't have a lot on their belts. This is where nerves creep in.
Yeah, not used to the finals, not used to the backs quite being pressed up against the wall the same way that they are right now. Flash, smokes, the works. Westmelon will not be affected. Completely okay. Emilia good for 2. In the meanwhile, Westmelon's collected on the third, and G, he set it all into motion. There's nothing Flying can do. Lynn Vision will take Wings Up's best chance of equalizing in this best of 5.
Yeah, fantastic work along the way as well. Felt like they built up so much from their previous run-in with Wings Up. They even took a risk. They went the other direction. This wasn't their pick.